call the meeting to order for February 4th, Tuesday at 5 p.m. If we could stand to salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll do a roll call.
Frazier?
Keen here? Keen here. Okay. Sharon Girardi's on her way, and I have a text into Ann. Agenda revisions, I think the only thing that I know we want to add during the principal's report is John has some good news for us about some scores we got, which we'll talk about then. Do you have anything else for agenda revision?
Not unless you want to move it. The only other thing is the non-public approval of non-minutes. You might want to delay that until the next meeting.
Yep.
So you
Okay,
don't have to
so
go
we'll
over it.
just cross that off
Right.
for this evening?
Yeah. It's not on the next agenda.
All right, so we'll go right to correspondence if there's any. We did get a thank you note from a teacher that we sent flowers to, a very nice thank you note.
You got that out here?
I don't know if it's in here or not, but I'll pass it around if we have it. It was in my mailbox over there. There we go, perfect. Thank you. Let's see, what's it? Oh, yeah. CDs for Greg. There's the thank you note. Any other?
No, that was it.
Okay. Approval of minutes, public minutes of January 21st, 2014. Uh-oh. Now what do? I wasn't here. Can we even do these?
It's the majority of the people who were present who are here, so it's those two.
Okay. Go at it, guys. What you have?
I didn't have any changes.
I didn't either.
Okay. So then, I guess I would accept the motion to accept as written.
Motion to approve minutes is written.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain? Okay, and the non-public session 1 of January 21st,
I was all set.
which we're open.
So motion to approve the non-public minutes of that day.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain? And the minutes of January 27th, 2014.
Should be very short.
That was a nice short meeting.
Early meeting.
I didn't have any changes that I needed on those.
I didn't either.
Okay,
So motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, administrative, public input on agenda items. Anybody?
Hi, Sue Levine, 72 Road Drive. Just very brief, I wanted to say thank you for the newsletter. I know Sharon, I think, had put that together, and it was really helpful to see that recap, so thank you for that. And I'm interested to hear about when discussions, I was excited to hear about the GMR reduction, and interested to hear about what the strategy will be for the variance between the bud-con cuts and the GMR reduction, planning for that when you get to that. Probably pending the outcome of this evening's meeting when we have a more clear picture of what the budget will be. And then the last thing I'm wondering if what Mr. Safino will be talking about is the kneecap results, because I know I've actually been checking to see, usually there was released right around this time, and because I remember last year they had just come out the day of the deliberative session or the day before the deliberative session, so I've been kind of checking every day to see if they were out there, but anyway, so I'll be interested to hear about that, and I feel confident that they're heading in the right direction, but I'm excited to hear more about that. So that was it for me, and hopefully it'll be a quick meeting after this meeting, a quick and positive meeting after this meeting, so.
Anything, Angela?
No, I sent an email, I'm not sure if the whole school board got to see it or not, but very similar, saying thank you very much. I've heard a lot of positive response out in the community on the flyer. I think it helps to explain it. And there was a lot of positive that, both the school board and the budget committee seem to support a lot of the different motions for the school, so I think that's a positive as well. And then also that the focus on retaining the small or the lower ratios that we have, the staff to students. I think that's a huge thing that, people feel really good about as well. Like you said, moving in the right direction. But then also, I loved how we listed out, or you all, sorry, the school, not me, you all listed out the different grants we could have applied for to really, because I think that's one of those creative ways of how we can do more with less, and if we need to do more, and so I really applaud that as well, and really, hopefully optimistic, that this is gonna continue to go in the right direction, and we'll get support to do that. So thank you very much for that.
Okay. Presentation. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Does anybody have anything to say about the presentation?
I think that's not the presentation, we should wait until we're done.
Right, the slideshow.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. Information items, administration reports. The superintendent's report is in our packet. Did anybody have any questions for Betsy? The PLTW is interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing more about that as we progress through strategic planning.
And actually, at the commissioners' meeting on Friday, she spoke to how that is a growing influence in the state and how it's supported it is in communities and also by the State Department of Education. They're trying to push for people to go for that status.
There's some pretty big grants for that, isn't there?
Absolutely.
In that list that I
Yes.
saw?
Yeah.
There's a lot of college scholarships
Yes.
from local companies offering STEM scholarships for college freshmen. Yeah. It's pretty neat. Okay. Anybody, any other questions for Betsy? No? Okay, thanks Betsy. Principal's report. It's in our packet. And John is here to speak to us about a couple of very good things.
Pointing at it will not move it.
But I think he's having technical difficulty after he dropped his laptop on the table.
I'm just trying to find my report, there's any, what's that, see, what the fuck is it?
Just talk about NECAP scores, that's the worst part.
Yeah, actually, I would say definitely.
Just talk about NECAP.
Well, there wasn't another thing that wasn't in the report I wanted to bring up. Some students along with Mrs. McCutcheon participated in the Future City competition, and they won an award this year. For their Califuturistic presentation. Basically, it was here, their problem was traffic. The traffic pollutes the air. People sitting in traffic are not allowed to multitask. There are millions of people on the road, and at once there is no room for people to safely ride their bikes or walk. Califuturistic is a city with satellite-guided vehicles and no drivers, and elevated magnetic railways with pods, spherical cars to move people in the city. Both modes move people to a pre-programmed destination safely, efficiently, uses most renewable energy. Both methods allow people to multitask and safely arrive to work, school, shopping centers, etc. in the city. The SGTs guide themselves to charging stations, and the magnetic railway uses a new elevated structure above the existing roads. These models also open space for lots of bike paths and walkways. So they, maybe she just brought that up to me. But, oh yes, they won, they were at Northeastern University in Boston. They received a special award for the most innovative infrastructure design concept. So I'll pass that around to everybody.
Congratulations, that's great. It's a great program. Very nice. Califuturistic. That's cute, like supercalifragilistic.
Oh, cool.
I would imagine, is what they meant by that.
I do have the kneecap scores. The kneecap scores actually don't come out to the public till tomorrow. They came out to schools yesterday,
give us 2 days to leave the country before they're released to the public. But we're releasing them a little earlier, so I guess that says
We're gonna
something.
stay.
We're staying. We're not leaving.
We're gonna stay.
Thank you.
I haven't had a lot of time to analyze. I did come up with some graphs that you have there. Basically, the summary, what we're looking at is that in reading, there was an increase in 9% increase in students scoring proficient or proficient with distinction, and a 7% increase, that's for reading, and in math was a 7% increase in students scoring proficient or proficient with distinction. The first page you have here basically shows you from 2009, we had 63% students proficient in reading. This year we had 81% proficient in reading. This is testing year. Now there's a difference between testing year and teaching year. The difference is the testing year are students who may have left the district, but if they take the NECAP anywhere in the state, if they were with us last year, we get credit for it. And then those are the white copies, and then the teaching year is basically all the students, no, that's the other way around.
It's the other way around, sorry.
Okay, sorry. Testing year is the students we had last year.
Okay.
No,
No,
this year.
the kids
this
took the
year.
test this fall, that's the
Yes.
testing year.
So it's our current enrollment or testing year. And then the teaching year are the students who may have left the
Right,
district
It's all the students who were here present in that grade last year.
last year.
For the majority.
So they usually use the teaching year to determine AYP, so that's what I had sent out to the staff. So if you look at the black one, the black coded ones, basically with the blue, we had 63% in 2009, now we have 82% proficient in this year. So we went up 9 points in reading, and then also 73%, we had 63% proficient in math in 2009.
19%.
In reading,
No, in math and reading, 63 and 63, and we went up to 73%.
I'm sorry, in reading, yeah, we went up 10%. No, in math.
Math, we went up 10%, in reading, we went up almost 20%, 19%.
Yeah, sorry, that was
Yeah.
9%.
Well, 9% this, from last year to this year.
Oh, okay,
So the
okay.
1 year increase was
oh, it's so
9%.
exciting.
Yeah,
I was looking from beginning to end, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's not.
The beginning to end,
The
but,
number's huge for 5 years.
Yes, it is, it's huge.
for, you have 20 years, I mean 20% almost, in
Yeah.
5 years, so that's
Fantastic.
a big increase. And 9% over 1 year is a pretty big increase
Yes,
too.
it is.
And if you look at reading, the last two charts basically break it down by level 4, 3, 2, and 1. Level 4 is proficient with distinction, 3 is proficient, level 2 is partially proficient, and level 1 is substantially below proficient. So if you look at the chart, we'll start with reading. The blue column is like our proficient with distinction students, has gone from 7% to 22% of our students are proficient with distinction. And the purple one is 13% were students substantially below, we went down to 5%. And this is what we're hoping we're gonna look at for focus schools, because the focus school scores were based on the 2010, 11, and 12. And if you see 2010 and 11, we had 15% in reading that were substantially below, and 10% the next year, and then we went down to 5%. But now we've had 2 years in a row of 5%. In math, which is really what I think put us in the focus school, if you see for 2010, 11, and 12, we had 16, 16, 16, level 1, now we have 10. So and there's 24% of our students proficient with distinction in math.
That's remarkable.
So we've seen some big increases, in which I didn't even get to go through, because math and reading is always the, what they determine AYP and focus schools and all that stuff, and writing gets kind of sidelined. But looking at the writing scores, which is, did I pass this out?
You did.
Yeah, okay. Writing on the bottom, basically what it says is that none of our students in 8th grade are at level 1 in writing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So 0% as far as level 1. And there's only 4 students in level, that are level 1 in 4th grade. So the writing scores have definitely come up. I haven't done a full analysis of the writing scores, but this was a big increase. Now, if you also look on this, on the blue chart, when I met with Dr. Cox, she had suggested I put in some of the things that why? You know, I think that to show that it's not just a fluke, you know, some of the things that we have done that has shown the improvements. You can see that for example, in 2009, we had a half year of RTI in middle school. We went to a full year of RTI in 2010 in middle school, and we saw a big jump there of like 4 points in 2011. Then we brought in the full-time kindergarten, and we started a half year of RTI in elementary. Last year, second year full-time kindergarten, full year of treasures, and full school RTI, and our scores jumped almost 10 points in reading, and 6 points in math. So,
Good job.
so we were very pleased, and I put that on at the end of the day to the staff because I told them it was coming out Wednesday. So
Oh, so you
You know,
told them today?
I did tell them today. I
Good.
sent it up. This is the
So
email.
everybody knows now.
Everybody knows. I told them not to spread it around on Facebook yet because they're technically not public yet. But I mean, that's basically, there are scores. We can do whatever we want. And so we can hide, or, you know, or what, come up with a press release to explain them, or just brag about them. And so we're going to brag about them a little bit.
Celebrate your successes.
I would say that is a huge increase, John.
That is remarkable.
And I look at it from like individual classes too. I mean, we saw some big jumps, you know, grade level wise. You know, they went up. This is different classes. I'll look at that chart that I had done last year, where it showed the fall of the
Yeah.
grades, and you just see what that was. This will definitely make a difference. I think for, you know, a lot of people will may come up tonight with the ranking on the grade schools. Last year, I think I remember explaining that we had, our 4th grade took a dip last year, the 4th grade scores, and when they do the ranking, they only look at 3rd and 4th grade scores. So that brought us down a little bit. Of course, our 7th and 8th grade scores were pretty high, so if you look through that, I think it's School Digger is what it is. If you have to find middle school, our middle school ranking is like 48 or 47, so middle school is really good. So this is the whole school. This is what we did as a whole school, not just certain snapshots of certain grades. So, and I think that this is the biggest jump we've had.
So when is this test taken? Is it taken in the fall?
In the fall.
That's awesome.
This is a fall and a spring?
This
They
is
do
the
kneecap?
last time the kneecap will be taken.
I was just gonna,
Yeah.
Yeah, the fall, we only do it in the fall. We take the science in the spring.
okay.
And that's why they do the testing year and the teaching year, is they don't
Because it's
just,
different years.
it's different years. So, you know, they give us credit for the students that may have moved to another district. So we can see the difference, but they usually use the teaching year to determine AYP, which they don't determine anymore. Too bad.
No.
Even though it's like, it would be at 100%, but if they frozen it, it would definitely
So
surpass.
this is it on kneecaps, we will move now to the smarter balance.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
the
talk
staff,
about
the staff
that
worked
when it
very
means-
hard.
Yes, when
And-
that time comes.
And I, you know, as I said to them today, you know, it's not just like treasures. Treasures, I think, made a big impact because we basically took the tier 1 instruction and made it uniform throughout the building, and it helped carry over from year to year what the students are going to do. But really, where the difference in what the teachers are doing is the RTI, because they get to be creative and determine what their kids' needs are and come up with the interventions we use. We have some programs we use as well, but they also do determine what the kids need, and it's a lot of hard work on the teacher's part. And I'm hearing one more today. I won't say who the teacher was, but said, you know what? Okay, I'm enjoying RTI. You know, because there's always a pushback at first, you know. But they are liking it because they do. They get to be creative, and they get to do those things that they don't necessarily have the time to do with smaller groups, you know, and that's the big thing, is the small groups that they get to keep and they get to split the kids up and to work with them. So it's working. So
My kids love the art test.
So,
Great job, John.
Thank you, very good job.
There's definitely another variable here that I will mention later, because I want to make sure I'm right, but I think maybe you came on in 2009, but I could be wrong.
This is his 5th year.
this is my 5th year, yes.
So I am
Well-
right, okay.
Yeah, that's what
Just wanted to point that out,
I did
too.
have, I tried to get earlier years, but that's what they did have, but, before I came, what I did see was, there were scores that were going down, basically were kind of static for a few years, and then, because there was some turnover and all that stuff at that time, but, pretty much they were the same for a couple of years, so. But I do have other charts in here, and I can show you previous years, but, yeah, that's when I came on board, was 2009. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not that pizza.
Okay, Special Education Coordinator's Report. Any questions for Sarah?
No, great information.
We're gonna be taking on the tuition setting later on tonight, under action items. And I would assume you were kind of telling us what the comparisons were, so we have an idea of what you
Yeah.
think would be a good price.
Right.
That was in lieu of any kind of formal discussion and just based on correlating it to our budget increase.
Right, okay. Did anybody have questions for Sarah? Thank you, Sarah. The IT Director's Report, short and sweet. Any questions for Betsy to send to her?
No, I didn't have any.
The Technology Committee is meeting Thursday? Yep. Weather permitting?
It'll be over by then.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be over. Wednesday at 7 it's supposed to be.
Yep, and the Facilities Director's Report, sounds like he has to attach cabinets to building.
Yes, the safety inspection is about a 12-page inspection report, and it goes in great detail. He'll be reporting more about that as it goes along.
Okay. And the Financial Administrator's Report is in here. I think we were just doing it for information purposes tonight, because this was kind of, getting the budget ready was enough for us at this point, and everything else that we had to prepare for this meeting tonight, so. Right, and you can certainly use that as a reference, but, we had agreed that it would just be put in here, so we'd have an update. Okay, trust fund statement. I guess, you're recommending we have this quarterly, right? That's
Right, because really the only thing that changes is the interest, unless it's expenditures out of it, which you have authorized anyway, so.
Right,
Rather than try and do them every single month.
okay.
Makes sense, because we have to get into the town, and we've got to get them to report it and bring it
So do you just need consensus from the board on
up.
that?
Right, that's fine.
Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Yes? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Perfectly fine, so that's good. Consensus is quarterly for the trust reports.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And then the enrollment report is not ready because it is only the 4th and we moved our meeting up. So she'll have that for us at the next meeting for the February numbers. Business, Q&A from previous meeting.
There wasn't anything further.
Okay, that wasn't there, so. And then the payroll manifests and payables.
And the magic, oh my God.
Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? Manifest for 11714.
Do you need to see them, or do you have it?
I have it,
Okay.
thanks. Majority there is the LGC Health Trust, that was around 61,000. And then, busing between, NRT and provider, let's see, around 60,000 for that. So that was really the majority of this, of the, one on 117, that would be 1417. Then we had a smaller one, the $480 one, that was, so we could do the mailings,
The newsletter.
yeah, the newsletter. And 14-19, that was 13114 manifest. Once again, busing some out of district. We had Seacoast Educational Services, there was a bunch of different invoices, came out to about 21,000. I guess it was supplies from the beginning of the school year that finally were all paid.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty much on here, so any questions?
Do I have a motion to accept the manifest as presented?
Motion to accept as presented?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Budget transfer request, there's just one. It's a little one, relatively speaking. It's an $8,000 transfer. I don't have the revised one, so. I mean, it's, the packet has the other one, but I didn't print it, thank you. So it looks like we had to transfer money from salary teachers, special ed, to legal expenses to cover the cost of negotiations and other legal expenses. And we obviously have that in line in the budget to do that, to transfer. So I would just need a motion to accept that transfer.
Motion to accept the $8,000 transfer?
Second?
Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. So that passed 4-0. And then we have to set the preschool tuition rate, which was basically a recommendation based on what Sarah just told us. She's basically basing it on what our increase was to our budget, I guess. So the current rate is
170? Yeah, I think it's
175 and 140.
That's right.
So is it easier if we keep it an even number, like 180 and 150?
Oh, I like even numbers.
Or 180 and
Just using a
145?
percentage, so.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'm just thinking for you. Is it okay? if
185
we-
and
for-
145,
For someone that hopes they're on pay, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, I 185 and 145 is good to me.
Yeah.
185 and 145? Any, does that sound reasonable to you, Sarah? Yeah?
We seem to be right in the middle of the preschools in the state.
Okay.
Okay. So a motion to change preschool rate to 185 for 5 days and 145 for 4 days? No.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
that's
4
okay.
days, 3 hour program.
It's more like, it is more like 2.5, it's between 2.5 and 3, it's by the time I get them all down to the bus and.
Yeah.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So 185 and 145. Future and follow-up agenda items. We have our,
We'll discuss tonight's meeting.
yep, we will discuss tonight's meeting after we have it tonight. But we also have the strategic plan workshop at the Exeter Inn scheduled for March 15th. It's a Saturday at 3:30. And our next meeting is Tuesday, February 18th. And if there's no other further business, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Oh, one more question. Do we have a workshop next week?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, right? Okay.
Right.
In Concord?
That's the.
Oh, yes, the New Hampshire School Board Association, if you can go. Did you guys sign up? Did you
Yeah.
register?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Did you get that, George?
I think I remember hearing one, I didn't sign up though. Is this not too late to sign up, do you think?
No, I don't think so.
11?
I think,
Yes.
even if you just call Ted Comstock, I think he'll squeeze you in.
6:30?
It's about strategic planning for school boards, which is a perfect timing for us.
Right, that's what I
So. Okay, so if there's no other further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Yeah.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.